Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Lots of love and many blessings your way. Everything in this video is found on a public domain. And if you haven't heard by now, Meghan has been selected to be a guest editor for Vogue. It's the September issue, which, by the way, Dan Wooten says it best. Who can afford anything out of Vogue? It seems to be a guide for the ultra-wealthy to chase after overpriced name brand trendy wear. Average people just dream of these pieces while the wealthy stick it deep down into their $8,000 Birkin bag to whip out once they get to these designer boutiques. On the cover of this Vogue edition, there's 15 women pictured in black and white, little blocks. These women represent everybody Meghan finds inspirational. She tossed in a little cleverness. There's a 16th block, kind of centered in the middle of Vogue, the front cover, amongst these 15 inspirational women. This 16th block is mirrored, and the point of it is she wants the reader to be able to see their reflection in this 16th block and be inspirational, be inspired. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And because we know Meghan is super humble, God forbid, she did not want to be front and center on the Vogue. Alright, so the 15 women that she chose are basically models and actresses. They, the models that jet around to their next glorious location, where they can pose in swimsuits. Actresses like Jane Fonda and Laverne Cox. Jane Fonda, we all know who she is and what she's about. She was with Ted Turner for quite some time. And if you don't know much about Ted Turner, look him up, do a little research. You'll see. Birds of a feather flock together. Like a single person out of that 15 that I think stand for something truly. She's a lady that's small in stature, a little person. Anyway, she has merit behind her cause, which is body positivity. I can understand that. And in my opinion, it seems like every one of these women are just simply stepping stones to benefit Meghan in her future. She's lined up her future pretty well over the last year or so. I can honestly think of 15 other hard-working women that have truly made an impact in this world. The only thing is, they're not wealthy, and they lack all of that notoriety. There's a difference. Would they be beneficial to Meghan? Think about that. Okay, so anyhow, the design, the whole concept of having these Wonder Women and Laverne Cox on the cover in black and white does not come from Meghan. This idea first came around via a book that Meghan submitted one of her fluffy essays for. Creators spent years working on this book. It's a charity coffee table book. The setup is exactly the same. It's a bunch of women in black and white in cubes on the front cover, and Meghan just so happened to have naturally gained a block on the front cover of this book. Otherwise, do you think she would have submitted an essay? The title of this book is called The Game Changer, and these people that put this book together over a span of several years were kind of upset about the fact that, hey, the Vogue cover kind of looks very much like the Game Changer cover. So they contacted Vogue. They wanted to see who the creative genius was behind this. Vogue gave all the credit to Meghan. Now, we all know that Meghan has a history of taking ownership of literary creations that don't belong to her, but she's a campaign thief too. There's a few things that I'm just not at liberty to say, and without throwing it out there, I'm just going to say this. Now, when you get your cover of Vogue or you pass it in the supermarket and you see your reflection staring back at you in that little block where Meghan has instructed everybody to be an inspiration to ourselves, to be inspired, just know that it's not just jewelry, money, and cars that she steals. An excellent piece that the Daily Mail put out. A good friend of mine sent it over early this morning, and I want to thank you. You know you are. I'll put the link in the description box. You guys will really enjoy it. Now, we all know that Harry and Meghan have been hell-bent on doing things their own way, or Meghan and Harry just kind of goes along for the ride. So what I'm about to share with you will not shock you. I hope it is as it seems to be, because it's just about time. As it was told to me, Charles and Camilla have finally cut Harry and Meghan off. And of course, we know this doesn't really mean that they're going to have a pantry full of ramen noodles and pork and beans. But it's very nice to know that the taxpayers, their hard-earned money, will be used less in their direction. I'm afraid the damage is already done, though. She's already acquired over $1 million in jewelry. She sent that fabulous car. It was worth $130,000. Over to Canada. It's waiting for her. It's over at Jessica's place. Doria went from a net worth of nothing to multiple millions. They've set themselves up quite nicely over the last year. She's built quite a bit of a nest egg for herself. But my gosh, at the rate of speed that she goes through money, she'll be taking her jar of change to the local coin store in no time. And as it was told to me, the real reason why the Queen's asked her to the vacay castle, the Queen's going to have a real serious talk with her. They're going to explain to her the rules she'll follow after it's all over. And speaking of spending money, did y'all hear about her shopping trip last week? She wanted to spend some time in one of her favorite upscale boutiques. During business hours, she had her security team clear out the entire store. She simply did not want to be bothered by other people. She felt their presence was intrusive and unpeaceful. So her security team had everybody hurry up with their transactions, stuck them outside the store, locked it up, and made sure that nobody came through that store until Meghan was finished doing all of her business. Now here's what I'm wondering. Now we all know the Queen made a threat to her and said, look, you're absolutely going to be cut off. How long has she known about this? They're preparing to cut her off. And is that why she has no tolerance for the people anymore? Remember how in the beginning she just wanted to fill Diana's shoes, pick up where she left off? She doesn't seem to have the same drive anymore. I'll see you soon. We'll talk fast. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.